Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be day 18 working on Project Betty, the 76 Monarch. I'm going to give you a recap of what I did yesterday. I got the whole roof and both of these sail panels sanded. That's ready for epoxy primer. It was a massive Bondo dust day. I mean, I come in here every day nice and clean, but I mean, as soon as you start doing something on the car, I mean, you're just, you get dust. And everything in this garage is it's just dust. I mean, it's just covered. But I'm going to try to blow a lot of this out of here before I start painting. But I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the hours so far because somebody was asking me that, how many hours I have into the car, and I just lost my paper. Oh, here it is. All right, the first 9 days totaled 54.5 hours. And then day 10 through day 17 totaled 50 hours. Add those together, right now, 104.5. So 104 hours to get to the point where it's almost ready to spray epoxy primer on. Today what I'm going to be doing is the flares on the bottom. I'm going to sand all this down, sand that down, sand this on both sides of the car, do a 180 grit on the deck lid. I think that's going to be all the sanding that's going to be required for epoxy primer. I'm going to get to it right now. No, I'm not. I'm going to jack the car up first to make it a lot easier to sand that bottom area. I get the car as high as I can in the back, it's going to make life a lot easier. Now I'll get right to it. As I sandblade on this, I have to keep in mind the original big picture here. Yes, I'm fixing the rust. I'm going to make it look okay, but I need to match the rest of the car. So when I sandblade on this, I'm purposely not going to do it perfect because the rest of the car is not perfect. So what? So shut up and get to work. Now, I'm not going to screw it up, but I'm not going to take like every necessary step to get a SEMA paint job or something super good. It's going to look good. It's going to look like the rest of the car. So it's actually harder to do than you would think. You want to do a good job, but you don't want to take all the necessary steps to make it great. So I have to keep that in mind as I do this. Big picture. Not painting the whole car, I'm just painting the back half with the roof. Okay, back to time lapse. Moved over here to the passenger side of the car. Gonna take first I'm going to shape this Bondo a little better with 60 grit paper. And then I'll switch to 180. The 60 is just going to knock these high spots down. As I'm doing this, I'm rolling the round sanding block, and I'm always going in a crisscross pattern. Well, I poked and stroked, my wrist got numb, and I still didn't hear no dynamo hum. I'm thinking that's far enough with the 60. Yeah. Time for the 180. And time lapse. Well, I got a lot of that sanded. I got all the quarter done. Full side, actually, except for the door. And what I'm going to do next is set it down on the jack. I don't think I need to put tires on it. And set it back down, and I can sand the trunk or deck lid in this panel here. And I'm going to have to do a real thorough job blowing out the garage. So I have a little bit better chance at success with paint. I got my work cut out for me. I'm just got to keep plugging away at it. Sanded down the trunk. There's an area where the paint was chipped off. And I thought I could just sand that smooth, but you know, it's better just put a little skim coat on there. It's not going to take much to sand this off because it's a good flat area. And I'm just putting on enough to cover up the low spots. And like that. Go around the edges, blend them in. Not worried about that ridge, that'll get sanded off. It's break time. Break time, break time, break time. What I did, I started to sand it. Then I put on the guide coat. The guide coat goes down into the sanding scratches. And then when you sand the guide coat off, when it's all gone, you know everything is smooth. And it feels great. So that's going to be just fantastic. Got a little bit to sand back on the corner here. And then the car's going to be done being sanded. Next, I'm going to open that garage door, get my leaf blower, blow a couple pounds of Bondo dust out of here. And then I'm going to take my air gun and blow another half a pound off the workbench and other areas of the garage that I can. So I'm just going to time lapse you for that. Okay, I blew that out. I kind of blew along the walls, the ceiling, you know, workbench. I got a lot of it out, but not all. But that's going to be the end of episode, what was it, 18? Day 18? Yes, day 18. Working on Project Betty, the 76 Monarch. All the sanding is done. It's sanded to 180 grit. And then tomorrow, I'm going to start cleaning up the car, clean up the garage some more, start taping things off and getting it ready for epoxy primer. That's a big step. So I thank you for watching Dan's Messy Garage, and I hope you stay tuned to my channel for future episodes. Bye.